Good morning to all. I am Professor Ashna Ruksar. Our today's topic is deterministic context-free language from theory of computation. This is very important topic from unit number 5 and most of the time asked from university examination. So, before starting from deterministic context-free language, we must know what are the language types. Namely, there are two kinds of language types. Very first is deterministic context sensitive language called as DCSL. And second one is DCFL, that is deterministic context free language. The procedure of DCSL and DCFL is around 80% same, but only difference in the word sensitive and free. So very first we will see what is DCSL. It means that if a certain grammar consisting of a certain context means meaning of that grammar, it means that you have to follow right linear grammar or left linear grammar, then it will be a DCSL. But what is DCFL? The DCFL is deterministic context free grammar. It means that a grammar which is having neither left linear nor right linear, it means it is a context free grammar. So the language which is formed with the help of context free grammar is called as deterministic context free language. So our main focus is on second type of language type, that is DCFL, which is asked in the examination for around 7 to 8 marks. So we are starting with DCFL. So as we seen earlier, a basic definition of DCFL is deterministic context free language. It means that a language which is formed from context free grammar is called as deterministic context free language. For example, if we are considering a grammar, we know that on the grammar we are always use on left hand side, that is non-terminal, which is represented by a capital symbol, and on right hand side there will be a combinations of terminal as well as non-terminal. As it is context free grammar, it means our non-terminal will be appear on the mid side. On left hand side there will be a terminal, and on the right hand side there will also be a terminal. This is what a context free grammar. So the language which is formed by this context free grammar is called as context free language. Now procedure for creating a deterministic context free language. While starting with the procedure to solve a DCFL, we must know the concept of DPDA. As we already know what is DPDA, that is deterministic push down automata. This topic is already covered in unit number 3 of theory of computation. As we have seen, the push down automata is of two kinds, deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata. So what is deterministic push down automata? If you are forming a push down automata of any language, then it will follow a single direction path. It will reach from top to bottom, then execution of this kind is called as deterministic push down automata. So we will see what is a direct relation of DCFL and DPDA. So the language will be DCFL if we can construct a DPDA for it. I am repeating one. What is DCFL? the language which is DCFL, if it is accepted a deterministic push down automata, or for that language we can make a DPDA. So indirectly, if I want to solve the problem based on DCFL, we are solving the problem of deterministic push down automata. So we can make a definition of DCFL: a language for which we can construct a DPDA, will be a deterministic context free language. So this is all about an introduction of DCFL. So we are moving directly towards a problem which is asked for university examination. So I am writing a question in terms of example. So what is example, or what is the question that can be asked? Show that given language is DCFL or not, and the language which is given is below: WC W raised to the power R such that W belongs to A comma B, clean closure bracket close. To solve this kind of problem, very first we have to create a DPDA for this problem. If DPDA is constructible, it means that the language is deterministic context free language. So if I want to show the language is deterministic context free or language is not, then I am creating first DPDA for it. As we all know how to create a DPDA, the deterministic push down automata is created with the help of verification part first. From our given question language, the language is WC W raised to the power R such that W belongs to clean closure of A comma B. As all we know very well what is meaning of clean closure. Clean closure indicating A and B are appearing in a language either by 0 time, 1 time or n time. So very first we are making a specific language form that given language structure. So here is W is representing a string or alphabet combination of A comma B. So suppose I am taking a first language only C. Why? Because here it is clean closure of A comma B, which is indicating a and B can be appear for 0 time. So what is remaining? W is representing the value 0, C and W raised to the power is again 0. 0 is nothing, again C, then 0. So what will be final? C, where C is representing a separator. Next, A, B. If I am taking AB, then AB, C, the reverse of AB will be BA. Again next, if I am taking a language as AB, then separator, reverse of AB is B, A, and so on. We can create n number of languages or n number of strings. So now moving towards a verification part of PDA, what we have doing? Always verification start from the initial state, that is Q0. There will be a 3 parameter. First parameter is Q0, means second parameter will be the string which is to be verified. So from this given language we can choose any string. A, suppose I am choosing AAB, separator C B A. As we all know from where separator is arise, from question WC W raised to the power R. So the third parameter will be top of the stack. So why there is a top of the stack? As we know, if I want to create a DPDA for a certain language, then the language is based on a data structure that is stack, or the stack symbols are Z0, which is representing the top of the stack. So initially if nothing is in the stack, it means there will be a Z0. So let us start. First we are making a rule. If A is appear, then we will decide. If A is appearing, then put a symbol capital A on a stack, and if B is appearing, put capital B symbol in a stack. As we know, stack will be like this. Initially the top of the stack is Z0. If you are getting alphabet A, we are putting capital A. If you are getting alphabet B, we are putting capital B. But this operation is going to perform before a separator. It means this operation is called as push operation. As we know, stack perform only two kinds of operation, push and pop. So why there is a push operation? Because we are inserting an element into a stack. If you are deleting an element from the stack, then it will be representing the operation called as pop operation. If I want to delete, I want to perform pop operation, then for capital B we are going to pop B, and for capital A we are going to pop A. So moving towards problem, we are proceeding. Our initial state will be Q0. Very first we are getting symbol as small a. So for the lower a, there will be a insertion of capital A into a stack. So from here the remaining is A, B, separator, B, A. So now initially the top of the stack is Z0. Now it is become capital A, Z0. Similarly, again I am getting Q0, next element is A, the remaining will be B, separator, B, A. Again for small a, we are decided to push capital A. So this is pushing A, this is already placed stack element and Z0. Now we are getting B, Q0. For B, what we have decided? To push element capital B into a stack. So there is separator C, after C, B, A, and what we have pushed? Capital B, A, Z0. Now next, again there is Q0. What is next? C. C means a separator. If you are getting a separator, what we have decided? After separator we are performing the operation of pop. So very first remove separator C and write B, A, B, A, Z0. There is no effect on the stack, but effect will be on initial state. As we have decided, if we are starting a problem, there will be initial state, that is Q0, but after separator what we have decided? To pop the element. So the Q0 will be replaced by now Q1. Very important, keep in mind, Q0 is replaced by now Q1. The remaining is B, A, and capital B, capital A, Z0. So the current position of stack is where we have inserted A, next A, and capital B. For this push operation, initially the top of the stack is Z0 and your state will be a initial state Q0. Now once we have getting a separator C, what we have to start? We have to start a operation of pop. So what we have to do? This Q0 state is directly converted into Q1. So what you will write now? Q1. For popping operation, here will be a small b. What we have decided earlier, if you are getting a small b, then for that you have to pop capital B. So Q1 comma, what is remaining? 2 times A. Here will be popping of B. It means BB will get cancelled. So remaining is A, Z0. Again similarly, what we have decided? Next state will be Q1. We are getting small a, here it is small a and top of the stack is capital A. Both are matching, as we have decided for popping of small a, there will be a capital A. Both will get cancelled. Now what is remaining? Small a, capital A, Z0. Again Q1, our string is empty now. A is removing, it means what we are getting now? Epsilon. Empty string is represented by epsilon. And popping of A, we are getting Z0. Next, now our string is completely empty. Top of the stack is Z0. When we have decided the verification is completed, if you are getting the conversion of initial state to a final state, your string should be empty and your top of the stack is again empty. So what will be the final? Q1 epsilon epsilon. Here we have completed verification. If I am getting string epsilon and top of the stack is also epsilon, it means that we have constructed DPDA for it. If you are remembering, while writing a problem of DPDA or solving the problem of DPDA, what we have taken as steps? Very first we have defined verification, then we have defined rules of DPDA, and lastly we have defined the following construction of DPDA. But if I want to show the language is DCFL or not, we have to just make a conclusion. Your conclusion should be like this: for given language we can construct DPDA, and by the definition of DCFL, if you can construct a DPDA for a certain language, it means that that language will be deterministic context free language. So what you will write here? For given language we can construct DPDA, it means that the language is deterministic context free language. Here the problem comes and you can easily get 7 to 8 marks if you write this kind of problem. Thank you.